Hello, I'm Claire. Welcome to my channel, Clarobobbins. This is Friday Sews. What have I got for you today? Well, it's been a busy week in the sewing room. A last minute, a very quick, formal blazer sew that I'll be telling you a little bit about. If you saw my midweek video, you'll know all about it. I finished my raspberry Largo cargos, a little bit about those, and what is on my sewing table this week. Come back in just a moment. Welcome back. Lovely to see you today. It's been an odd sort of week. Life and sewing have definitely been mixed together. Yeah, emotional week too. If you watched my midweek video, which was all about the Metro Blazer to the rescue, you will know that we were invited to a funeral. A very good friend, long time friend, 35 years. Who sadly died very suddenly, and the funeral was very much a celebration of his life, and it was magnificent, really somber but magnificent. The whole family involved, beautiful piano playing by the grandchildren, yeah, gorgeous. Anyway, enough of that. But I intended. Well, you know me. If you've watched me for any length of time, you will know that I don't have a lot of plain garments that are not colourful. I like colour. I like pattern. I don't mind plain, but I prefer it when it's bright pink or bright turquoise, or So I do like colour, and most of my wardrobe is quite casual these days and quite colourful. So my most appropriate dress I thought was my rose Clare dress, but I needed a jacket to go with it, and it wasn't really until Saturday afternoon I was having a conversation with Sandra Stitched. I'd taken my knitting, she was working on a jacket, and I thought, I really haven't got anything to wear this funeral. And Mr. Bobbins had said, what are you wearing? And I'd said the rose Clare dress, and then I thought, oh, and I'd know I've had cleared up my wardrobe since I retired, and I've got rid of all my formal stuff. It's all been it's all went to the SmartWorks charity for getting women back into work. So all my work outfits and some really smart suits with blazer type jackets that I could have worn with my dress, all gone. So and I have 3 Metro blazers, but they're bright. The least bright one is a purple, but it's quite a bright purple, and it just doesn't go at all with the mulberry rose Clare. So I decided, just off the cuff, kind of a bit last minute, to make a quick Metro blazer. Luckily, I have a good stock of Ponte. I'd got a navy heavyweight Ponte from Minerva in my stash, so I set about cutting that out on Saturday night, and this is a result. So I did show this on my midweek video. Lovely pattern, the Metro blazer. So simple, it's self-faced. If you do it in a heavyweight Ponte like this, it has enough structure for it to look quite formal. It's a really straightforward sew. I would say probably it has welt pockets, so I'd say probably an advanced beginner or an intermediate, but you could practice the welt pockets, and you just have to really know what you're doing. So if you had a go at them in any pieces of scrap fabric that were left over from making, cutting the pattern pieces out, then you could probably manage them if you follow the instructions carefully. But they're a little bit tricky the first time. They go into a Ponte like this really rather well. It's quite forgiving compared to a non-stretch woven. So it's a really good type of you know, tailored garment to start with, because it's a little bit like sewing a sweatshirt, but you get the effect of a really nice formal garment. Yeah, you've got the welt pockets, and then there's just a little bit, it's a little bit tricky when you sew the 3 layers together, which form the collar and the shoulders. And there are 2 L-shaped sections, which you can see on the pattern. I could just pop this up and then you'll be able to see from the line drawings where the L-shaped sections are. Sewing into those corners, you have to cut into the corners and then sew them and pivot at that point. And it's a little bit tricky if you've not done it before. If you're not familiar with that type of technical, accurate sewing. So I would say, you know, maybe have a little bit of a go on some scrap fabric, and it could be any kind of knit really, if you didn't want to buy the pattern until you'd had a bit of a go at that type of technique. But once you tried it, actually, especially if you based it together, because it's 3 layers, it does say in the instruction booklet, though not in the workshop video, but it does say in the booklet, which comes with the pattern, that if you're at all unsure, or you're finding it difficult, so I just did it anyway, to baste the first 2 pieces together and then sew the 3rd piece in, and it makes it very straightforward. But you need to be able to sew accurately, and if you can't do that, then you know, if that's just a little bit beyond your skill, have a go on some. You could practice a welt pocket and a, you know, pivoting on a corner to a cut point on some sweatshirting or French terry, and just see how it looks. It's not difficult to master, it just needs a little bit of practice. So yeah, I'm really pleased. I've got this on my mannequin, who I've named Edith after my grandma. So there we go. So that was this week. I felt really comfortable and put together, and thank you to all my lovely subscribers who sent me condolences. Very much appreciated. And yeah, very moving day yesterday. I was quite emotionally drained by the end of it. So onwards and upwards. My raspberry Largo cargos. Made the raspberry Largo cargos out of a linen viscose rami from Stitch Fabrics. It's gorgeous raspberry colour, and goes really well with this ponty top. I need some summer tops to go with it, because this really is a kind of spring autumn weight. It's a bit warm for today, but I couldn't resist because the colours work well. I have 2 fabrics that I think would look nice with these trousers. This is, I think, no, where did I get these from? I think I got these from La Marzi last year and didn't get around to sewing them up. They've been in my stash a little while. I think this will be lovely. It's just the perfect colour to go with those raspberry Largo cargos. I didn't make the cargos with the side pocket or the hammer, but I did the hammer loop, but I did make them with the front and back pockets, and I did use the belt loops because I have no waist, so they'll just fall down if I don't wear a belt. Yeah, so this pink is a really good tone to go with these trousers. Trousers are a whisker darker, but that pink works really well. And I think with the other colours, that will just lift them a little bit and stop them looking too monochrome. With this top, they do look lovely, but it is very much a festival of reds. Whereas this will just add a little something extra, I think. And I could probably wear my ecru Sorrento jacket, because they have this creamy ecru colour in. This will be a spring palette, but there's enough of the winter colour in it. There's only really this caramel colour that's spring. There's enough of the winter colours for me to not be worried about those odd little splashes of spring colours. So looking forward to making a top. Not sure which one I'll do. Might be my favourite, Concord. Might go for something different. I've also got this. This is a cotton spandex, so more structured. And again, nice colours to wear with the raspberry. The red is a warmer red than the raspberry, but there is some purple and pink in there. So I think it will go. Probably not quite as well as this one, but I think it will still go. So 2 fabrics there for summer tops to go with my new trousers. I think they'll be lovely. And they'll be quick makes. So yeah, so I'm quite looking forward. I'll probably do these fairly soon, I would imagine. Not sure how much fabric I've got. I usually buy just over 1 metre when I buy, or I might have bought 1 metre exactly. I think I can get cashmere concord out of about 0.7 if I'm not having to match do any pattern matching, or that's for a short sleeve one. 3/4 sleeve would be nice. These are 3. I think these might be 3/4, but for summer it would be nice if they're a little bit shorter, I think. Yeah, I don't like my sleeves too long. That probably sounds silly, but I don't like a really. Actually, these are probably a long sleeve. Yeah, but I think a 3/4 sleeve might be nice. In one of these, I'll see how much fabric I have. Sleeves take up quite a bit, don't they? We'll see. So what else have I been doing? I've been working on my fabric Wheel of Fate pattern. I'm not going to tell you which pattern I've chosen. That's a surprise. Top secret. Find out when you watch the fabric Wheel of Fate video. You'll remember the fabric, I'm sure. It's this beautiful Stitch Fabrics linen that's been in my stash for, I think I bought this the first time they came to Smallwood, so about a year, maybe 14, 15 months, something like that. It's the most lovely soft linen, typical Italian linen. When it comes out of the wash and you've pressed it, it's crisp, and then as soon as you handle it, it just softens, and that's when I love it, when it goes soft. It can grow a bit, but I thought that would make a lovely dresser. So I have a dress cut out. It's all ready to sew up. I'm quite excited about sewing that up. It's going to be lovely, and it's a new dress. So I prepared the pattern yesterday. I printed it off. It took me 4 hours to prepare the pattern, and I knew exactly what I had to do with it. It's a cashmerette pattern, and I know when I make a cashmerette pattern, a dress or a top, I have to lower the bust point by 1 inch, and then I have to shorten the front bodice by 1 inch because I've added 1 inch in, so that I have to do those, and I have to do a full bust adjustment. I use the GH cup in the size 14, but it's still a little bit too tight across my bust, so I have to do a small full bust adjustment of ½ inch, and then I've got the hopefully the perfect fit. So I used my sloper to check it. I'm pretty sure it's okay. It's a slightly different shape to my sloper. The darts are a slightly different shape, but I think it should be fine. Yeah, so quite excited about that. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to where it would have been the perfect dress for today because it's humid. It's been raining outside. It was 23 degrees. I went to the farm, to the milk machine to get my milk, and yeah, it was 23 degrees on the car thermometer, but grey and cloudy and very, very humid. And then I came home and I took a few stills for this video in the garden. I've been trying to find different, more interesting places to take photographs. I need to tidy up my garden, I think. So I took some in the garden and I could feel these big spots coming. Splish, splosh. And I came back in the house and came up here and got everything ready for filming. And I could hear the cars going past. You know how it sounds when cars are driving through on really wet roads. It's quite a different sound, isn't it, to a dry road. I looked out, it was absolutely hammering down. So yeah, all the roads are wet, and it's absolutely pouring down. But hopefully that will just freshen everything up a little bit. I think we're due some nice weather over the weekend anyway. So so a busy week with my my making of the Metro Blazer. So I've made one garment, cut a garment out from scratch and adjusted the pattern, and I'm ready to sew that up. I might have that sewn up by tomorrow, in which case I'll get my Fabric Wheel of Fate video videoed. I'm quite excited to be making that. And then I've got so many things to do. I've got my Harrison shirt that I haven't made yet to do, and I need to decide. I need to do a bit of messing about with my sloper to make sure I've got enough. Perhaps need to make a toile. It's princess seams, and my cashmere sloper is a darted bodice, and Jenny from Cashmerette did a brilliant video, I don't know, video, lecture, whatever, on converting a darted bodice to a princess seam bodice and back again. So I could use my sloper to do a princess seam sloper, but I feel like I need to toile that before I actually make a shirt, because I'd be heartbroken if I cut into my beautiful Italian fabric that cost a small fortune and it'd be too tight. So I need to do that. But I'm quite excited to be making that up. Yeah, so many things to do. I've got some lovely fabric for I've got some lovely viscose challis for another rose clare dress, a really colourful viscose challis, because the Cobra Corsage Mulberry was a bit of a toile to make sure I liked the pattern. But I've got a lovely stitch fabric. Excuse me, don't want to make up. Excuse me. I've had really bad hay fever because all the grasses are in flower at the moment. And the grass pollen seems to really irritate me. I'm also bad with tree pollen and flower pollen, but grass pollen really gets me. Yeah, so I've got that, and I also have cut out and ready to sew last month's Cashmerette club pattern, and I can't remember the name of it. I'm going to have a quick look on StashHub because I can. Here we go. StashHub. Quick look. I don't know why I can't remember the name of it. It's a knit pattern. And here we go. It is the Irving dress. And it's like it's a knit pattern. It has a gathered waist, which I'm not sure about. So I bought some navy bamboo fabric from Pound Fabrics, and then a patterned bamboo fabric from Pound Fabrics. And I thought I'd make the navy one up first, and then if I don't like it, I'll do something else instead with the patterned one. So the patterned one was more expensive, but the plain navy fabric, it has little ties that are extras. It's like a tank top. There's no gathering, but then it's a gathered elasticated waist and fuller skirt. So it would again be perfect with this weather, and it would be quite nice. The pattern on would be nice with my blazer. think the navy one I'd have to put with a different colour, but it would go with my pink or my purple, one of the others I have. So yeah, so I've got the Irving dress. That one, it's a knit, so really quickly on my overlocker, and it's all cut out and ready to go. So that could be a super quick, speedy sew. So I've got so much to do, so little time. I've got so many plans, I don't know where to start. Well, I do know where to start. I'm going to finish my Fabric Wheel of Fate. I love the discipline that series brings to my sewing, because it stops me from messing about. It stops me from messing about and, you know, flitting about between projects and starting and stopping. It just makes me get on and do it. And that's really quite refreshing. You know, I choose my fabrics. I don't even choose the pattern. I choose the fabrics. I spin the wheel. It comes up and I make it. Oh, who knew? I've got a bit of fabric left. I've got about a metre. Yeah, maybe. I've probably got a metre full width. But it's not all in full width. It's in a narrower section, but it's a bit longer than a metre. And then there's a bit that's full width that's probably maybe half a metre, a bit more. So I could maybe make a little top or something in the linen. Maybe the Curso top might be nice in a linen, because I wouldn't need to line it. I could perhaps bind the armholes or something. I don't know. I haven't decided. I've only made it once, and I made it in that lovely voile. Right, well, I'm going to, I think that's me done. You've heard my news for the week. It was a friend's birthday today. We went for coffee and cake first thing this morning and took him his present that Mr. Bobbins has been busy making. So I've been busy sewing and he's been busy modelling for our friend who has Model Railways. Engaged tiny little scale models of railways, and he has it all set up around his room, and Mr. Bobbins has been making this particular series of carriages for it, so he was really pleased with that. So it was very nice to see him this morning. Yeah, apart from that's it. I've been dancing this week. We had a great dance lesson. I need some new dance dresses because, of course, it's summer and my scuba ones are too warm. So the Irving dress would work. Yeah, what else? That's it really. Haven't been to the gym because I've been gardening. Haven't even done much gardening this week because I was rushing to finish my Metro Blazer. What have you been doing this week? I'd love to hear what's on your sewing table. I'd love to hear what you think about the things I've made. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. I've had a few new subscribers. Welcome. Thank you. Hope you've enjoyed my ramblings today, and I hope to see you again very soon. Happy sewing. Bye bye.